Hello and welcome. This is On Location Podcast, and today we are coming to you from Marriott Kigali Hotel for the Rwanda National Seed Congress. It's day 2, and I'm joined today by Alexis Bizimana from BK. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself first and tell us a bit about what you do.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Alexis Bizimana. I'm the head of agribusiness in Bank of Kigali. So we have a full-fledged department dealing with the supporting the agricultural value chain actors to access financing, being in a crop or in a livestock, but focusing the entire value chain.
Okay, when we hear BK, we just know it's money first, and we're looking at a certain crucial point when it comes to agribusiness, and funding, especially when it comes to small-scale farmers. What are some of the issues that will make me as a small-scale farmer, for example, not access those funds for me to be able to take on my day-to-day activities?
Yeah, thank you very much. The issue, once we talk about the smallholder farmers, we have two issues actually. One is to reach out to them, because it's very costly. The transaction cost to go in the rural areas to meet them is critical for us. The second one is the eligibility part of it. The eligibility criteria to have a smallholder farmers can be eligible for financing because of different issues. They need to have a collateral, they need to have a visibility on the businesses, they have to have a market. All these issues are still a problem for smallholder farmers to access financing.
Okay, and when we talk about these issues, are there some of the solutions that you've actually come up with or that are in play as of the moment?
Yeah, sure, because that's our end game. We need to reach out to these smallholder farmers. So we need to be digital. We are working on digital solutions to be able to reduce our transaction cost. The digital solution also will help to have a visibility on the farmers' operations, to have efficiency in terms of operations, and then be able to serve them. In terms of collateral, we are working on different instruments, in terms of product innovations, to make sure that we can give money to these farmers without asking collaterals. But we've also the digital part of the digital system. You'll be also with this visibility, it's reduced a little bit the risk we are seeing, and then be able to take somehow a risk to them.
We know that agriculture is it's a backbone for many African countries, but yet we still have people who fear investing in the agribusiness. Why do you think this is as such, and what do you think is an approach that we can take towards a step forward away from that kind of fear?
So I'm not seeing the reason why they're fearing to do agribusiness, because now I can say on the regulatory side, law side, we have everything in place. You can register a business, you can protect your business. We have the rules and the regulations in place. Once you come on access to finance, we are there. We're providing more, apart from the financial services you're providing, we're also providing advisory services. You can discuss with you, give advice in which value chain to venture in, what are the risks, how you can mitigate them. So and again, we have also the concessional financing, which coming from the Development Bank of Rwanda. So I take this opportunity to thank the government of Rwanda to put all this in place. We have a subsidy program where the farmer can get financing at the single digital interest rate. So we have a guarantee scheme. So I think we have everything in place. So what is maybe remaining on these are firing, maybe it's the knowledge of the sector, but they have a different source of data that they can leverage on to understand the dynamics, the potential, and the business opportunities in the sector.
Okay, thank you. And during the talks, there's something that came up, and I would like our audience to kind of understand. What would you give us on affordable financing? What can you explain what that is and what really goes into it?
So once we talk about the affordable financing, so there was a initial or the claim in the past that the financing in agriculture is very expensive. It's not expensive compared to the other sector of the economy, but if you consider the margin that the farmer is getting from the business, and you add the interest rate and the other fees you are charging, it's become now a burden for a farmer. So that's why the government of Rwanda came in to look for the cheap money, the cheap funds, where the farmer can now access funding at 8% from the 18%. So it can get the margin also, the management fee also has been reduced. So apart from that, we have the BD for guarantee scheme, which can cover the farmer up to 75%. All these mechanisms has reduced significantly the cost of financing to the farmer. So that's help. And again, that the program also has the technical assistance, the market linkages, how the farmer can be able to understand how they can manage the businesses. And then if we combine also with the insurance, we have the Rwanda National Insurance Scheme, where the government is subsidizing up to 40% of the premium, and the farmer pays 60%. All these initiatives are there to reduce the transaction cost, to reduce financing costs on the side of farmer. So that's why always the farmers are claiming that the financing is expensive, because they're combining the cost with the margin they're getting. But with this program, hope that the financial cost has reduced, and then we are seeing now uptake in terms of access finance.
Okay, and what are some of the trends when it comes to actually the finance sector and its relation to agribusiness? What are some of the trends that you can tell us about that are currently happening right now?
So on the first one, I can say that now we have the appetite is there on the side of financial. So I said that we have the full project development, the Bank of Kigali. I'm saying the other banks are also coming, working on a strategy for agribusiness. So everyone or any financial institution is saying that the sector itself is the potential one, is done where there is more businesses coming. And then on the side of the regulation side, we have, as I said, these different schemes coming, where partners are really interested to support in terms of technical assistance to make sure that the bank understands agriculture, supporting our farmers or our value chain actors to make sure that they're complying with the requirement of the banks. We are discussing with different players also to see on regulation-wise, the policy-wise, what can be changed to support or can be added to support more the agriculture finance.
Thank you. And you were part of a panel this morning on increasing competitiveness in the value chain. Could you tell us a bit more about that, the discussions that you had and some of the things that stood out during the panel discussion?
Yeah, thank you very much. We cannot separate banking with the value chain or the material of the chain. There is a direct correlation between banking and the agriculture, especially once you talk about competitiveness. Competitiveness is all about having the market, the value chain. You have business potential in terms of market size, in terms of the structure, the law, the material of the value chain. All these are there to de-risk our businesses in terms of transaction. If we need to finance, we need to select the value chain based on the material of the value chain, the infrastructure in the value chain, the quality of the operation, the efficiency in terms of operation on the side of town farmers, the quality seed. We are talking about the seed here today, the regulations around that, all these businesses, so we can measure our risk, and then it enforces us to take the appetite or to take it measures the risk appetite we need to take, and the reason why we can a little bit selective in terms of value chain. So all value chain are not being financed by the banks. We are selecting based on this competitiveness we're talking about. So that was the discussion in this morning, how we can link the two and which can be done to increase the lending in this value chain which are really competitive.
And yet again, technology is something that we've been talking about for the longest time now. So how does it come into play when it comes to actually increasing this competitiveness in the value chain?
So technology is very important because it provides the clear visibility of the value chain. So taking an example of supply chain management, if you need to digitalize all the supply chain, you need to understand where the produce is coming from, the money which has been invested, the money which the farmer is getting from the buyer, so the quality of produce, all these records are there, and then it gives you the clear visibility on the business operation of the farmer, how efficient the farmer is, where we can play so that I can reduce a little bit the cost, where we can play to increase the margin of the farmer, and then it comes from traceability as well, because if we need to expand the market and be able to export, the traceability will be a big issue. That's all these digitalization is very important. If we talk about the scoring engine, we need to use this data to score farmers. We need to triangulate data from different sources, with the supply chain, with the transaction, if you are using the Momo, if you are using other source of payment. We need to have all this data and then be able to score and give you the limit. And we need to, so all this data, this technology will help us to have your behavior and then be able to know really who you are in terms of the payment capacity, in terms of so the character part of it, and then that will help also to de-risk the sector and then be able to invest more. And the bank will be now having clear visibility, appetite to finance more in agriculture.
Okay, and when it comes to biotechnology, this is also a hot topic, So do you think we can actually be able to like pick sides? We had an issue yesterday where some public sectors are like being forced to like pick a side. Is it organic? Is it GMOs? So what's your take on that?
So I'm not an expert in this, but what I can say is that so the word need to be fed. And it's better to look on the side of the food security first. If we have the population, for example, in Rwanda we are around 14 million people, we need to feed them. Our land is, we still have, our land was there since then, when we were 7 or 5 million, and now we are 14. How are we going to eat? So all these kind of issue need to be on the table of the policy makers and debate on that. If we need to go to work for improved seed or other technology to increase production or the productivity, what is matters that's to have our people having food to eat, and then to once we have the market, and this population is the market for these farmers. And for a bank side, we need to have a formal or clear regulation and policy governing all this transaction. Once it's clear enough, and then we'll be able to come and support the journey. So on our side, we're talking about business, purely business. If you have what to produce and you have market, and if it's purely regulated, the regulation are there. For us, we need to look for the business opportunity and then come in.
Okay, thank you. As we conclude, what do you hope to see being implemented in the foreseeable future as a result of this Congress, generally when it comes to financing and agribusiness?
So thank you very much. As Bank of Kigali, you committed to be part of the process. So we sponsored the event, the first one, and also the last year was part of the journey. So we have a quite number of farmers or the seed value chain actors we're financing to make sure that the seed is available on the market. We are discussing with the National Seed Association of Rwanda to have a clear roadmap in terms of implementation. We need to onboard these members, the all seed players, and they work together on a regular basis to know to match the financial need they have with the product we have, and then we'll be able to revamp our product on a regular basis to make sure that they have financing they need. In addition to that, we are working with them to work on technical assistance. We need to support them also to make sure that they're complying with regulations, and we are open to support any policy regulation changes that can be happen to make sure that the seed industry is very well regulated. They have rules and the regulation determining the quality and then facilitating the open market for exports. So we are quite open. We are really keen to be part of this seed roadmap, which has been designed last year, which are now in the second phase, second year of implementation. So I think we'll be having a good journey, and then we'll be happy in a few years, like 2-3 years to come again and see the results and what has been achieved so far, what is the role of Bank of Kigali on this. So I think clearly we are committed for not seed industry, but also the entire value chain, as we commit to inject in 3 to 5 years to come 150 million USD. So it's not really a small amount from inception. And having 150 million, that will be around 10% of our portfolio, coming from 0 point something. So that's why we are, that's our vision, that's our commitment. And I think as a Bank of Kigali, we are Rwandan banks, we need to go beyond commercial businesses and see impact, and then what is our contribution in terms of source. social empowerment and food security.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for providing insights on this and coming on our podcast today. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Alexis Bizimana from BK. And thank you for tuning in to our On Location podcast. Stay tuned for more. I've been your host, Anne Bobo.